What's up guys, my name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and welcome back to the channel. So with the release of the 3 different Minecraft mobs in the mob vote, in this video I'm going to be making the Iceologer mob in Minecraft as a Minecraft Forge mod for Minecraft 1.15.2. So you can see in the background I am in the software block bench. Right now what I'm doing is I'm creating a custom Java model that we can use as the base for the Iceologer. If you don't know what the Iceologer is, it's basically a hostile mob from the Minecraft Dungeons game from the Winter DLC. Basically, this is kind of like a ranged magic wizard which attacks the player and has a few different special moves. Now this mod is not going to be fully based on the moves it has in the game. It's going to take inspiration from that, inspiration from certain other mods out there that already add this mob to the game, and some ideas of my own. So the first thing which we're going to start out with is use the base model of the Evoker mob for the base of the Iceologer. The reason why we're doing this is because the Iceologer is basically a glorified villager, and the Vindicator and the Evoker models work perfectly for this. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and imported these models, and then we're going to use a custom skin for the Iceologer and import it onto the mob. Now there's some skins out there that have already been made a while back which are based on Minecraft Dungeons, so I went ahead and I got one of those skins off the internet, and I just go ahead and apply this skin to the model, and then it will apply to the Evoker model and we'll have the Iceologer look just like from the game. Now this mod is going to have really basic animations, but we're going to add a few different special spells to it. And now as we add the texture, you can see that it looks exactly like it should do in the Minecraft Dungeons game. Let me know in the comments below which of the 3 different mobs from the Minecraft mob vote that you want added to the game. What I do plan to do later today is also add the other 2 mobs and release those as mods too. So if you want to download this mod, check out the link in the description. So I'm just saving the texture file for this right now, and this is going to be what the mob is going to look like when we do the coding for the mod. Now I'm going to do the rest of this process off camera, and I'm going to show you in the second segment of this video after the intro the gameplay specifically of the mod when it's finished. So I'm going to show you some gameplay of the mob, what its special abilities are, how it behaves, and basically what the mod adds to the game. So you can see that he does have the undershirt as well as the overshirt texture, and I'm just showing off a few different features and layers of the model and its material. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to save this model as the Iceologer. This is pretty advanced stuff for anyone who doesn't really know much about modding, but basically at this point I'm just saving the character and getting ready to bring him into the mod. So this is the final stages what I did to prepare the character to bring him into the game, and then anything else that I did off camera I'm going to cut out and show you the end result. So let's get into the mod. So as you can see, currently I am actually in a mountain biome. So you've probably seen at the start of the video that I was making a model for this mob. This is the Iceologer, and I used the base of the Vindicator Illager to actually create this mob. So it's going to be very similar, and it's going to look pretty similar too. So this was the second mob in the lineup for the annual mob vote for Minecraft. So every single year basically they do a mob vote, and people can vote which mob that they want to be added in a future Minecraft update. And the second one is actually the Iceologer, which you've probably seen since the start of the video process of me recreating it. So this is going to be the Iceologer mod. This is for 1.15.2. You can download this in the description if you want to go find the link over there. And basically, as you can see over here, we are on a mountain biome. This is the closest thing I could get to a snow mountain biome or a snowy mountain. This is where they will spawn inside the mod. So if you are testing the mod out, this is where you'll find them, on a snowy mountain biome. So there's 2 different mobs in this mod, okay? So the first one is the Iceologer, which is basically the Chillager, which is another word that people used to call it, and also the hypnotized polar bear, which is a version of the polar bear which is under mind control that the Iceologer will summon. So that's something that I've added to the mod to add something a little bit more unique. So we're going to summon him, and we've got some diamond armor on here. The reason being is because we're going to need some good armor to actually fight this guy. Okay, so we're going to summon him. I'm going to show you what he looks like. he just looks like a Vindicator, and he has Enderman effects coming off him, just like a Nether portal, and he just looks absolutely awesome. He has red eyes. He just looks like an upgraded version of the Vindicator. It's basically like a mix between the Vindicator and an Iceologer. So he just looks absolutely awesome. He doesn't raise his arms when he fights. The version that I've actually made, he shoots snowball projectiles as his weapon. So if you have any better ideas in the comments on how I should upgrade this guy and make him attack the player, then let me know your ideas, because I am looking to improve this mod. This is inspired by a few of my own ideas, and this video is based off 2 different videos, one by log.zip and the other one by systemz. These 2 guys also recreated this mob in Minecraft yesterday, so that was the inspiration for this video. So I'm going to go and I'm going to show you. So he has a chance when you attack this guy to actually use a few different routine spells. So if I punch him enough times, the reason I'm punching him is because he's not actually that tanky, so we could kill him. If I punch him enough times, he will actually do a few different abilities and spells, which I'm going to show you. So that time when I punched him, he summoned these ice blocks, okay? And these ice blocks, they break really easily. And this is another block which I've added, okay? Now, you can't craft this, but this is called falling ice, okay? And it's exactly what it says it is in the mod. It just falls. Now, when he summons it, it doesn't fall, which is what I was actually trying to do. So, he doesn't summon a falling ice block, although that's what I want him to do eventually. But he just summons ice on the ground to block the player. So, you've seen that's one thing he does. So, he will block the player and encase them in ice. That's one of the things he'll do. And then he has one of 2 other abilities. So the ice one he does pretty frequently. There's a chance for him to do that, so you will get blocked in ice constantly by this new falling ice stuff. But if we punch him enough times, we can see some of his other abilities, which he can actually do as well. Now this guy is not that tanky, so like I said, we could easily destroy him just with a diamond sword. And now you're wondering, what was that sound? Well, that sound is actually him summoning some evil polar bears. There's this hypnotized polar bear. Basically, these are polar bears under mind control that this guy can summon to attack the player, and you can see only 2 of them right now, because 2 of them have spawned in completely different places. One of them's here, and I think one's underground. But he summons 4 polar bears at a few different areas around him on the X and Y axes of the player's position, and then these basically will attack you as well. So he brings these polar bears to his aid to attack, and he can block you in ice. Now let's show you the last ability, which he can actually do, which is a very rare thing that he will do. And one thing to note is, when we actually do kill him and defeat him, he will drop a nifty little item, which I'm going to show you after, because I want to show you his final ability first. But he will actually drop a really nice staff. So he summons these polar bears, he blocks you with the ice around you, and if we punch him enough times, we should be able to see his rarest ability in a few moments, which he will actually strike the player and the area around him with. There we go. So that took enough times of spawning multiple Iceologers to actually show you, but he does actually strike the ground in 4 different positions. So not only does he spawn 4 of these hypnotized polar bears in 4 different positions, he will also strike the ground with lightning as well to attack the player. Now this mainly hits the ground around you. It's more of kind of like a frightening spell effect. It doesn't really do much in terms of damage to you, but he shoots the ground with lightning, he spawns polar bears, and he blocks you with ice to slow you down, because this stuff, if you can see, extra slippy. So if you jump on it, you're going to be projected around quite a bit and basically flung off. So you want to be very careful of that stuff if you're on a mountain, because it might actually make you fall off the mountain. So those are all of this guy's abilities. And now let's just clean up a few of these polar bears, because these guys are pretty powerful. And I think it would be kind of unfair for me if I go in survival mode and just instantly get killed by this army of golden compass polar bears. So let me just take these guys out, and then I will show you the polar bears in survival mode, what damage they do, and them being aggressive to the player. Okay, so let's drop into survival mode and fight some of these guys. So I'm going to take 1 golden apple, and you can see these polar bears, they're not very fast, but they will instantly attack the player and start attacking him, and they basically hit you for like half a heart each time. So they're quite slow. They have a 0.2% movement speed, so they don't move very fast, they move quite slow. And they use the standard polar bear model and texture, but they have red eyes, so that's one thing that you have to notice. Now when you fight the Iceologer, he will shoot snowballs at you, which is basically just like an arrow. It's just a ranged projectile. These will hit you for basically the same damage. So I've got a golden apple effect on, so they're not always damaging me, but for the most part they do half a heart as well. So that's his abilities. The main abilities of magic, which I showed you before, he will only activate these abilities if you actually hit him. So if we punch him or attack him with a weapon, he will cast those special abilities. Basically, just when he takes damage, that's when things will happen. So you can see he spawned more polar bears when we knocked him off and he took full damage. So in order to see all of his custom abilities, you will actually have to attack him so he takes damage, and then he'll have a chance to summon all these abilities. Now you can see if he shoots snowballs, anything blocking his path, he will just obviously battle. So even if these polar bears are unlucky enough to go in front of him, they will basically get one shot. Now because he has the chance to spawn so many of these polar bears, oh snap, there's the lightning again. I think we just knocked him off and killed him. Yeah, so since he has the chance to spawn so many polar bears, I made them quite weak, so when you fight them, they don't really hit you for much, and they will die, usually just with one swing of your diamond swords. So, as you can see, when he fell off and he died, he drops this item which I mentioned earlier. This is interesting, okay? This item has a few different abilities. So, first of all, we'll shoot the skeleton with it, and we're going to have to go into creative mode for this first. So, if you shoot a skeleton with it, who's on fire, it will extinguish the fire, but it will probably kill them if they're low health. Let's use a skeleton spawn egg and spawn him. He'll set on fire, and then when we hit him with the snowball ranged attack, it will actually extinguish the skeleton. So basically, any mobs that are on fire, you can use this item, which is called the Ice Wand, which is also based off a Minecraft Dungeons item. For you guys who don't know, basically the Iceologer is a Minecraft Dungeons mob, which they want to bring to the game. So you can use the right click attack on this wand to actually extinguish the flames of any mobs that are actually on fire in the daylight, which is super cool as well. Now you can't actually extinguish any fires on the ground with this wand, that's not how it works, but one interesting thing is this ice wand, not only does it actually attack mobs and do damage to them, it also lets you fire ice blocks. So if you want to create ice, I don't know why you'd want to create ice, but it's just a cool ability. You can fire it with right click, and on collision with another block, when it hits it, it will create an ice block on top of that block. So it won't replace the block, it'll create an ice block on top of the block or around the block, because you can see if I shoot it on this block, it'll create an ice block there. So it basically forms a block of ice near it, so you can kind of use it to make ice cubes, which is actually a pretty cool ability. Now you'll see when we fire it, it looks like a snowball and it has an arrow trail. The trail is just so you know where it hits, so you can aim a little bit easier with it, and you can just right click and tap it and it fires basically the same. You can hold right click just like a bow and it will shoot as well, but it doesn't really shoot it any further because the power of this projectile that you shoot is basically half of the power of an arrow, so it won't shoot as fast or as far as an arrow from a bow would, but it shoots in an arc shape and then drops from the weight of the snowball. Now if you're wondering why I went in creative mode to fire that, that's because it does actually use ammo to fire this, just like a bow would with arrows. You do have to use snowballs to actually shoot this. So if we go back into survival mode, when I couldn't use it before, now we have snowballs, we can actually use it. And one amusing thing, which is actually pretty funny, is when we shoot a mob with it, it knocks them back quite a lot. Like, look how we just catapulted that cow into the distance. So not only can you make ice cubes, you can use this just to knock mobs back, which is pretty funny. And it one-shots really low health mobs like sheep. And you can use it to extinguish skeletons and zombies that are on fire. And not only does it extinguish them, it actually removes any potion effects from them as well. So for an example, if you have a sword which has the wither spell on it and you attack a skeleton or some kind of mob and they start dying from any potion effects like wither or a potion of poison, if you right click on them and shoot a snowball at them, not only can it extinguish their flames, it also removes any negative or positive potion effects off the target. So if we fire this snowball at any mobs that are getting damaged or that have any positive potion effects, it'll remove all of them. So it's basically like drinking a bucket of milk for the player, but you're just doing it to a different mob. So this is the Iceologer mod. I thought I'd recreate this. If you have any cool ideas to improve the mod, let me know in the comments below. And this is all of his abilities, what he looks like, how to use the mod, and where he spawns. So if you want to try out this mod, go in the description below and click download. Drop a comment below on your opinions about this mod and how it can be improved, and I look forward to you guys downloading it. If this is the first video you've seen on the channel, make sure to subscribe and like the video. And let me know in the comments below which mob out of the Minecraft mob vote right now that you really want them to bring to Minecraft, because I think there's 3 mobs right now that people have to vote for, and they all look really cool, but I thought the Iceologer looked like the coolest one, so that's why I actually made it as a mod in Minecraft. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for a brand new video.